All right, fam, the market is showing us a little bit of a greenness here, but there is a major decision to be made by you. Now, yesterday on the show, I drafted this and I said we're going to have a push and another sell-off exactly the same way that it happened yesterday. That is exactly what happened. A lot of people got confused. And now everybody's saying the market is broken and everything is going lower. But I actually think, and I know I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I actually think that there might be a possibility for the bottom to be in or very close, okay? Now, the reason why the title of the show is not the bottom is in, because people are just going to look at it and blindly buy. But I want you to watch this and you have to make a decision here, which I want you to execute. I'm going to talk about all that. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗏𝗏 and I bring these updates for you here in the 100x Club. The mission is very simple. It's 100x because if I make 5% a month trading, in the next 10 years, 100x my wealth. That is exactly what I'm doing. Completely transparent. 5 to 10 minute daily updates. No fluff, no nothing. Directly what you need to know. I've been here since 2016. Been trading through the community. As you see, for example, here yesterday's update, I actually taken these trades in the community and I told you exactly when I'm taking them here on the channel. So if you want to join along, subscribe and come every single day. And also there's a link in the description to the community where I share all the trades and everything that I do as well. Let's jump in here. So yesterday I discussed that the reason why there was a retrace happening, or there was going to be a retrace happening, is because of the exact same pattern that played out the other day. So if you look here, 50% retrace and then immediate sell-off in New York. Look what happened yesterday. Same scenario. Look at this. Zoom in here, bump, and immediate sell-off in New York. This is the pattern that seems to be playing out. Now, whether that's because, institutions are loading off, whether that's because of manipulation because the bottom is closed, whatever that might be, we see a clear pattern. Retrace to 50% and then a rejection there. Now, this is how it would look today. Retrace to 50%, at least, retrace to this higher time frame OB, show market structure shift, and then sell off in New York. This is what I'm expecting as well. But, and it's a big difference to the previous days, is that if you look at the 4-hour structure, now the market is primed for reversal from a 4-hour level. Now, if you've been watching, and this is what I want you to do, 5 to 10 minutes a day, guys. Turn the bell notifications on, turn notifications on the Telegram, and come to these shows, because now I'm going to talk about something that happened 3 days ago, and if you miss one, you're just not going to see it. It's like Game of Thrones. Watch the whole episodes, every single episode. You can't watch Game of Thrones missing 2 episodes because you won't understand the whole thing. So, I've been saying for quite some time now that I do believe we need to have a retrace to the daily OB up here, right? The daily equilibrium, sorry. Up here at 3.22 trillion. If you've been watching, please let me know in a comment if you've been watching and you knew this, okay? If you don't, market's retrace 50%, and the 50% on the daily chart is up here at this level, right? So we need to see a retrace at least here, possibly all the way up here to the 3.6 and still be freaking bearish, okay? So that said, if I look at the 4-hour structure and I really zoom in, then the 4-hour structure, I also said this the other day, but this is a 4-point structure here, right? So this is a 4-point structure. That means that this level is the low of that 4-hour structure. And you always buy the 5th leg. So 1, 2, 3, 4, establishing an internal structure, and you always buy the 5th leg with confirmation. Now, the good part is that there was no real strong 1-hour confirmation previously, because the high was here, the low was here, retrace, sell-off, retrace, sell-off. But now, we not only have a possibility of getting a 1-hour market structure shift, which confirms the reversal, but also a 4-hour market structure shift. So if I look at the 4-hour chart, market structure shift is simply put when the market shifts structure. So if you look here, this is what you're looking at. It's coming down, and at some point it makes a higher high, and that higher high confirms the reversal. If that higher high is happening from a very strong 4-hour order block, that is a primed position, especially knowing that the market needs to retrace at least 10%. This can be either the ultimate bottom. I don't think so. I think we're going back and then we're rejecting because the stock market rejecting as well. But this could potentially be the reversal. Here's what I'm looking at, okay? And I'm going to tell you what the decision is that you have to make. One is, there are so many consecutive 4-hour candles here. This qualifies as a strong low here, okay? A weak low, sorry. But it qualifies as a strong level because there were buying pressure up here, at least 3 consecutive candles. But then there was a massive sell-off. This candle is an engulfing, insanely huge candle, unnecessarily big candle. And now I see more and more people getting shaken out and leaving the space, not there too long. This is exactly what we want, okay? So now we not only have a close below here, but we have a possibility to see an immediate V-shaped recovery on London. So if, and this is going to be the difference, if I see a close above the 2.98 trillion on the 4-hour chart or on the 1-hour chart, rather 1-hour chart is a confirmation, 4-hour close above the 2.98 is an absolute confirmation, I am going to go apeshit long, okay? Because that can and most likely will be the beginning of the major retrace. So again, just so everybody understands, there is a close below here. This qualifies as a strong level. And then there is, if there is a close above here on hourly, this thing is going to skyrocket. Skyrocket, okay? It's gonna be the greatest opportunity to get into long positions. Now, what is the decision to make then? So this is my explanation. Of course, it can happen. And again, very important, I always tell you what I'm looking as a trader. You can't just predict the market. I don't have a crystal ball. I can tell you what I'm looking at and what I need to see. If I see a 5-minute market structure shift, meaning a close below from this order block, unfortunately, it is happening. I'm probably gonna add to my shorts, and then it's just gonna continue lower because then we're rejecting from a 4-hour order block, which would be expected because again, like it's a massive downtrend. There is built up liquidity here, whatnot. So I would not be surprised if that happens. But today, for the first time in a long time, we have a great, decent possibility for an actual reversal. It's not like, oh, buying the dip of the dip of the dip of the dip of the dip, but actually has a possibility to buy. I'm also going to talk about Japan in a second. But what is the decision you have to make? So the decision you have to make is the following. I opened these trades, and I know a lot of you have opened these trades because I shared it in the community. I literally gave you the exact entries. I guided you through. Yesterday, I've been moving houses. I forgot to add back. I not forgot, but I didn't see. So Solana and Bitcoin, I gave you these entries in the Telegram. Again, link in the description. It's completely free to join. But this was the short I gave you on on Bitcoin. This was the short I gave you in Solana. This could have TP'd, but I said that I'm not taking the TP at 117. I want to read the TP at around $100 down here. But ultimately, what I want to say with this is that these trades are here now with decent profits. If you rather take the profit, I would then leave the trade open and basically, so okay, so it's trading is quite a complicated thing, right? But if you understand it to the core, it's pretty simple. You have to follow market structure, and you should never make your decisions based on emotions. If I look at this and they say, oh, okay, so this is actually $8,000, it's probably a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but it might be life-changing money for some. You might look at it and holy shit, if I have to take profits. But if I look at the chart and I go, okay, but this is still a downtrend. Like, I know that I want the hopium, you know, in my veins. And I really want this to reverse, but this is a bearish structure, and there's no reason for me to close this trade. Yes, 𝗏𝗏, but you're gonna get stopped. Maybe you're even gonna be going into minus, not only not taking profits, but you might actually close in minus if you wait for the reversal to happen. That's fine. Why? Because I understand the game of probabilities, and if I make decisions because I'm up $8,000 in these trades, then that will just screw with my mind, and next time I'm gonna make the wrong decision again. So what I'm gonna do is the following. I'm going to leave my trades open the moment I see a 1-hour close above here or a 4-hour close above here. No matter where the trades are, I am going to close, okay? It's simple. Why? Because it will not make sense to piss against the wind, and I'm going to flip long. I'm going to share it in the Telegram, and I think this is worthy enough for me to maybe even drop another update if and when this happens. The decision you have to make is, one, you rather take the profits, and if you see a rejection on the 4-hour, you're gonna get back in again. You're happy to miss this downtrend, whatever. Absolutely fine. Really, it's fine. But if you're like me and you rather just want to be like, okay, what is your strategy? And I'm following the strategy, and I'm not making my decisions based on the money because it is secondary, then I would just leave it. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave the trades open. And even if I get stopped in this is up at $8,000, even if I get stopped in minus, I don't care because the probability is that we're going to reject here. But looking at the market structure, there is a chance to reverse, and I rather want to see it reversed and me getting stopped than it's continuing its way lower, because that means that we can have a relief rally that we can long. Very important thing as well, that there was a rate hike in Japan, was anticipated for a long time, so this is something I wanted to address as well. 25 basis points, so now they're up at 0.75% interest rate, which is we talked about this again. You're coming back, you know, Game of Thrones. You're coming back. So if you're not, just come back tomorrow, and then you will be in the loop soon enough. But I talked about this, and I said this was expected. It was happening, and not only that, they did have some very dovish tone, which is different from the previous hikes, which were like the economy is kind of broken and we need to hike, and you know, we just need to get this stopped. There's a different tone now, which is like labor market conditions have continued to be tight. Corporate profits remain high, so corporate profits remain high even after the rate change. The monetary environment remains accommodative and supportive. Recovered moderately through some weakness is seen. So they come out with a dovish approach, and they say things are not as broken as we thought they were. We can fix this. This is going to be fine, and that brings a big difference in my opinion. So this could actually be very good for the markets as well. Everybody was anticipating this to be a little bit bearish, and the hike is happening, and oh my god, something is broken, and then the yen carry trade is going to be unfolding, and it's going to be devastating. It's not really happening. That uncertainty is out of the window. This could mark the bottom, considering what I just explained here. Also guys, if you want more of these, subscribe to the channel. Come back for another one every single day. I'm not always dropping a video on the weekend, because I only do it when it makes sense. I don't want to waste your time, and I think you appreciate that. If you do, make sure that you click here, watch this video. This is a strategy of mine that I use. You can benefit from that, or click here to subscribe and turn the bell notifications on. Join in the community. It's in a pinned comment, and it is in the top of the description. Take care, guys. Ciao.